I am trying to record a YouTube video. All right, moving on. That's my doggy son, Bone. Y'all say hello to Bone. Uh, so let's just start with today. Y'all, I am not doing the day like I want to. Y'all excuse my fur baby Bone. He is just wanting my attention. But let's get through this video. Case in point, listen, this is for my audience of a few, right? But I pray that it draws the attention that is necessary because we out here are doing two things. One, we are holding on and suppressing some grief. That's one. And two, we are navigating through some health challenges or health question marks. If you are, this video is for you. If you are in a space or have been in a space where you're trying to navigate through mental health, physical health, and then processing some losses that have been astronomical. I mean, losses that have caused you to have to just really and truly try to process it through processing, right? So I wanted to talk to you guys because as I navigate through those very things, why out of all times did I see on Instagram a story, a sad story, and y'all just bear with me, but a sad story about a Black woman who was a nurse, and she was a guest on the Tamron Hall show. And her story is that she was advocating for women that were fighting endometriosis. Endometriosis. If you all don't know what endometriosis is, please pause this video and look it up. After you do that, come back. I too suffered from endometriosis. A little backstory. As a 10-year-old going into the age of 11, I started my menstrual cycles, which in my book was an early age, okay? Because my friends, they weren't starting till they were like 12 or 13, 14. But I started when I was about 11 years old. And it was the worst monthly visitor ever. I saw in the caption and in the comments that dealing with endometriosis alone can have a person suicidal because they're trying to escape the pain that they deal with as a woman that's going through her monthly cycle. You all, there are conversations that need to be had. I wish there were conversations already being had when I was going through this very challenging moment with my health, with becoming a woman. I was clueless even about cycles. I was clueless even to the point of not understanding why was the pain so severe with my cycles. And it wasn't until, right? Get this. It wasn't until my late 20s when a doctor, I don't know how many doctors I went to see because a new challenge appeared. But this doctor, after multiple visits with other doctors that just medicated me, he took me straight into his office, my first visit, and he said, "You have chronic fibroids." And when he told me that, I was like, "What is that? What is that?" No one told me about fibroids. No one spoke about fibroids in my ear, sat me down, and said that this has been in the family XYZ. So when he told me that, on top of saying to me, "You're going to have surgery," I was blown away. And he set me up on the spot for my major surgery to get rid of the fibroids, only to find out through that surgery, not before, it wasn't until the surgery, that same OBGYN, while I was recovering in the hospital, came to myself and my mother and said, you also had endometriosis. They did a biopsy on me to make sure what they saw was not cancer on the ovaries. So, you know what? These incidents that I've experienced in my life have caused me to be very, very, very cognitive of putting on my own accountability and responsibility to seek out the health, the assistance, the proper information for myself. Because you know why? Unfortunately, a lot of these doctor's visits that even I'm having today for other issues that have concerned me, is like hitting a brick wall. I was about to mess up. If you ever dealt with the disheartening news that your doctors are overlooking your concerns, they're just treating you like another file, basically, then my prayer for us today is that God, please, by all means, if it is your will that we make it through this and live the purpose filled life that you want us to live on this side of heaven, then help us navigate through our decisions with wisdom. Help us navigate through this with love and support, and also where people are not ignoring our cries for help. So ignoring and being desensitized has become an all-time high in our households, in our communities, in our relationships. But at this point, you guys, we have to send the SOS to let people know, listen, I don't quite know what's going on with my mental. I don't quite know what's going on with my body. It may be subtle, but it's different. It's talking to me. And when people give you the nonchalant shoulder shrugs, when people give you the I'm not present with you in this, listen, please move on. Do what you have to do. Stay prayed up and ask God to send you people immediately that's going to help you aid through this new path that you should be discovering what your body is asking you to do. Discover how to aid your body, to support your body. So it's a crime and a shame how many women, especially I must highlight women of color, are going and have gone ignored when some things could have been avoided. And just to give you guys a little background and history with this one, not only did I have horrible, horrible suicidal cycles, because they were tremendously unbearable. I was going through TMI, get your kids. This is not for children, okay? Unless you're going to discuss this with your daughter. I was suffering with massive blood clots. I suffered with the fibroids, endometriosis, possible ovarian cancer, which I'm still wondering what went on with that test and if they were thorough enough. I went through surgeries, and then I went through multiple miscarriages, lost all 5 of my pregnancies, and had horrible, horrible experiences with my miscarriages. I was feeling like I was at death's door, literally, with my last miscarriage. So this is not nothing to play with. This is nothing to overlook. This is not just a regular, typical experience that a woman is going through with her monthly cycles. To understand what's truly going on with us, we must have a conversation. I also want to give this little piece of advice. If you can help it, don't go to the doctor alone. I've gone to the doctor too many times by myself. I've asked questions too many times and I was ignored and overlooked. Even just the pain in my face, just having to navigate through trying to live a functional life was almost completely impossible. I had to miss school. I had to miss classes. There were moments that people just could not understand what all was going on with me. And I'm staying in the restroom for hours at a time, losing all of my school assignments and not able to go to my classes for a full day because the cramps were so bad. And I am totally, totally, totally advocating as well for us to do what is necessary for our health and mental health. Mental health, even as a believer in Jesus Christ, you guys, which I pray and I hope that we continue to keep the traction going where we're talking about mental health with believers, right? Believers in Jesus Christ. Yes, we have the Lord. Yes, we have the Word of God, and none of that is to be dumbed down. That is our source, our help, and our life. Every now and again, I do believe we have to understand that some things cannot continue to be ignored. Some things cannot continue to be overlooked. So don't go to the doctor alone. Make sure you're with someone and make sure you have your questions already prepared before you go to see your doctors. Are all things resolvable? I just made up a word. No, they're not. But you can make your life more comfortable if you are in a place where you're saying, I'm not going to ignore this anymore. I'm not going to spend another copay with another physician and they give me the runaround. They're going to take my concerns seriously, right? And even if they don't, then there are moments where we can do our own research, find out what's the best diet to detox, medicate, the holistic way of getting our bodies back up to par. And I just pray that we can do that quick, fast, and in a hurry. If any of this has been your experience, please leave a comment in the comment section. I need your comments. I need your feedback. And you subscribing is even more of a plus. Y'all take care. And no, you are not fighting what you're fighting alone.